Hey, in today's news, we're going to discuss the developer's latest response to the next patch. We'll also go over the top 5 plants with the most enemy eliminations. I'll also go over a strange situation with some Helldivers, and not only that, there's so much more to discuss. If you've enjoyed my content before, consider helping out the channel by giving this video a thumbs up and tapping the hype button. With that said, let's jump right in. Alrighty, we're going to begin with the most important news ever, right? We want to know where the heck is the brand new patch, and we've got official confirmation that yes, indeed, it was delayed, because here's what Baskinator wrote. Freedom's greeting, Helldivers. We want to share an update on our most recent patch. It was originally planned for Tuesday, but a last-minute certification issue caused a delay. The team is now targeting delivery by the end of this week, with staff ready to work over the weekend if needed. There's still a small chance that the issue won't be fully resolved by Friday, which could push the patch to next week. We're doing everything we can to deliver it this week, and we'll provide an update on Friday either way. Thanks for your patience and understanding. So right away, yes, they admit there was a delay. Apparently it was due to certification issues and whatnot, and yeah, it does suck. I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed. However, it's great to know that there's official confirmation that the patch is going to drop next week, or perhaps maybe the next week after. Who knows what the heck is going on here. But there is more here because Baskinator continued on and she said, as we previously shared, we have pushed back our content releases, including Warbonds, to focus on fixing performance, bugs, and balance. The upcoming patch includes many bug fixes, performance optimizations, and a weapons enemy balance pass. Not included in the list below, we want to share a smaller list of optimizations with you ahead of time so that you can get a better idea of what's coming. And then the full patch notes will go live with the patch as usual. Well, would you look at that? So it seems that the Warbond has been delayed. The Warbond that was probably supposed to drop this month was pushed out a little further. So maybe next month we'll see a Warbond trailer, maybe the month after that, maybe in December. I don't know. I think it's great that they did this entirely, just pushing everything back. Though, to be honest, I'm excited and I want to know what the next Warbond is. But again, I'm excited that they're working towards fixing the game, which is the most important thing right now. Anywho, there is more to this post because right below this post, Baskinator gave us word on some of the optimization stuff for the next release. Basically, this patch coming up. So right here, it says optimize status effects, optimize physics by only enabling powered ragdolls when needed, optimize physics body handling for damage calculations, optimize automaton units and NPCIs by changing them from particle effects to shaders, optimize AI behaviors by analyzing and stripping out redundant code, reduce stuttering during drop-in sequence for missions on Hive worlds, improved audio I/O performance, snow distribution and overall look has been reworked. Improved performance by tweaking LOD settings for characters. Now for the rest of these, it's all about optimized assets. So they've optimized asset distribution for several planet types, scattered assets such as grass on various planet types, asset distribution in Hive worlds and terminate caves, asset setup and geometry for assets used in Hive worlds and terminate caves, status effects, physics, and particle systems while maintaining visual feedback and fidelity, optimize various automaton explosion virtual effects, optimize acid rain effects during acid storms, optimize Dragon Roach fire attack visual effects, which this one, by the way, is very important, I feel, as well as everything else, made various optimizations to the fire system, including particle and light optimizations. Okay, this right here, I'm scared. I feel like they did something to the flamethrower, but we'll find out. And lastly, improved performance by optimizing the rendering of several shaders. And that right there is everything that will be included in the next patch notes. They're going to have this all here. So this is essentially some of the patch notes, right? None of the main meat, right? To like what they did with the balancing and everything else. But this right here is very important. And I think it's sort of like You know, it just kind of gives us an idea of what they're doing, what they've changed, and I think it's awesome. I'd like to know, what are your ideas? If you can, comment below and tell me what you think. What we've got next to discuss is the galactic map, because if you haven't taken a look at the map recently, then you might be shocked, yet maybe not. We can see that Hellmire is once again under attack. What's funny about this whole thing is that I essentially said that this was going to happen in a video yesterday. I said, you know, something along the lines that Joel will probably attack Hellmire again from either Errata Prime or Estanu, and it seems Estanu is currently supplying Hellmire with more enemies. Now, the funny thing is, High Command tried to help us out by stating that we can knock two birds out with one stone, you know, basically stopping an attack and liberating the planet at the same time. However, as you all know, Helldivers do not read, which is exactly what happened. What you'll see here is what High Command wrote in the latest dispatch, and they said, all Helldivers should factor the following advisory into their strategic decision making. Enemy forces stage their attacks on our planets from an originating planet. Liberating the originating planet will end the enemy attack immediately in the current operational context. Liberating Estanu would end the current terminate attack on Hellmire. So, as you can see, they tried to give us a tip here that we can liberate one planet and stop an attack on another, which would be Hellmire. Unfortunately, it seems it didn't help. We can tell right away that most of the community is still on Errata Prime instead of Estanu. As of recording this video right now, there were 12,000 on Hellmire, 18,000 on Errata Prime, and Estanu, the planet we should have liberated, had 3,000 players, which is bonkers. It's clear that the old saying is true: you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Anyway, I do think the whole situation is hilarious and strange, and I wonder what you Helldivers think about this. If you have any response to this, drop a comment below. Lastly, there's one more thing I'd like to bring up about the galactic map that's pretty cool to know about. So what we're going to do is go over some incredible planet stats that might be shocking to hear. Did you know that Estanu has the most enemy eliminations? We can see that we've eliminated 11.6 billion terminates. That's more than any other planet on the galactic map. And 184 million Helldivers were unfortunately taken out of action. Not only that, we have also completed 31 million missions, with 3 million missions failed. And we fired 52 billion shots and 62 billion projectile hits. Coming in at number 2, Errata Prime has 11.3 billion terminates defeated. However, you'll notice for whatever reason, 77 million Illuminates were somehow beaten on this map, which is on the terminate side. Very strange. If I had to guess, I'd say most likely it's either due to a player or players modifying the game files to summon down Illuminates on Errata Prime, or the developers have been testing stuff out. Nevertheless, there's 186 million Helldivers defeated. We've completed 26 million missions and also failed 2 million missions. For projectiles, we fired 45 billion rounds and 54 billion projectile hits. Okay, in third place, we've got Julheim with a total of 10.8 billion automatons scrapped, 277 million Illuminates defeated. Now again, this is probably due to players modifying the files and summoning Illuminates in some sort of way. Nevertheless, 29 million Helldivers were taken out of action. Next, we completed 3 million missions, failed 251,000 missions. And for shots fired, we have 18 billion and 6 billion projectile hits. Coming in at fourth place, Crimsica. We annihilated 10.6 billion terminates, and sadly, we lost 167 million Helldivers. We completed 27 million missions and failed 2.3 million missions. We also fired 47 billion shots, and we've got 57 billion projectile hits. Finally, at number 5, 4E Prime, there's 10.2 billion terminates exterminated, and we lost 165 million Helldivers on this particular planet. Missions completed are 23 million, and 2 million missions failed. 4 shots fired, it's currently set at 26 billion, and 55 billion projectile hits. Overall, those are the top 5 planets with the most eliminations, and it seems like it's mostly on the terminate side. However, we did see that Julheim was in third place, or is in third place. and I would say that maybe another planet might take its place. Who knows? But I thought this whole thing was very interesting to know about, and hopefully you found it interesting too. Alrighty, moving along, we're going to check out a cool mod for Helldivers 2 that pretty much gives emplacements, guard dogs, and turrets a flashlight attachments. This mod can be found over on Nexus Mods, and it was created by Wolf Neon. There are several mods here that you can pick within the folder to modify specific stratagems. I'd imagine if you have a mod loader, you most likely can load multiple mods. Either way, what you can do is attach a flashlight to your stratagems. This mod is completely different from the mod I showcased 2 days ago, where you can add a flashlight to your support stratagems, and that was created by a different modder. Besides that, I would like to say again that we need customization for our stratagems. This stuff right here is really cool. I mean, not only just to add flashlights to them, but also ways of modifying them more to add cooler stuff that's useful and powerful. I'm a big fan of customization, and perhaps one day we'll be able to modify and upgrade different things, such as the Super Destroyer's theme and changing stratagem attachments or adding different things to them. On a different note, we're now going to go over the top 3 comments. First, we've got Mind of Doge that basically said, hey, you can extend his extraction, lobotomize his eagle, but don't steal half of his ammo, because, yeah, I guess some of the factions are made of bullet sponges. Interesting comment. I thought this one was awesome. I gave it a heart. The second top comment is by False Black Bear 3553, who had a Dwight profile picture. I love The Office, by the way. You wrote that, hey, you know, it was kind of strange that they said, hey, there's no patch today on Tuesday, which is usually when they release patches. And you said, that's like putting your turn signal on after you've already made the turn. Such a true statement, and I love this comment. The third top final comment is by Evil Mustache 7951 that basically quoted Arrowhead when they said, hey, we're going to give you a patch mid-October. And then he went on to say, that's like saying, want to meet up early afternoon? Oh, sure, what time? 8 p.m. Another true statement. I love this comment and the one previously. I think you both were spot on with everything. And yeah, it's a strange situation. With everything being said, hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, consider tapping the thumbs up button and the hype button. And do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. As always, I appreciate everyone from the subscribers, members, and lurkers. I appreciate everyone that stops by to check out the videos. Whether you're subscribed or not, thank you for stopping by. And it's completely free, by the way, if you want to sub. But yeah, hope you have a great day. See you in the next one.